It is that time again. It is Thursday, November the 5th, and that means it's time for Around Midnight Somewhere. If you're on the West Coast, it's actually only 8 o'clock, but hey, that's close enough. And if you're on the East Coast, well, it's actually pretty close to Around Midnight Somewhere. Anyway, enough of that jibber jabber. I am Joe Carbonetta, and I'm joining you this evening in the middle of yet another contentious election that has yet to be determined. I am joined tonight, of course, by all of my usual cast of friends. I've got Chevelle expanded to oh my god size, so I can't see him, so I'm not going to put that shot up right this second. And then I've got Todd over here. Hey, Todd, how are you going? All I saw is a plant in Chevelle's shot. It was hilarious.
A plant?
Yeah, that's all I see is a plant. He's got a plant. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. You know what? Here, let's go to the Chevelle shot. There's the Chevelle shot. There's just this crazy plant in the background. I don't know what happened to Chevelle's shot, but yeah, that's a bit of a problem right there. That is Chevelle Divine. Anyway, so yeah, we are live. Obviously, we're having the usual live problems that go with that. You know what's funny is that ordinarily, when it comes to Chevelle's shot, what we have issues with is him getting so small we can't see him. Now, he's gotten so big, we can't see him.
Too big for this show. Oh, wait.
Yeah, well, apparently so.
I'm
too big for this show.
Hang on, CJ. We're going to try and fix that. So anyway, we will try and fix this. But here, let me do this first. So we are live for November 5, 2020, with all of the usual fun and disasters in progress. And if you want to join our conversations tonight, whatever those turn out to be, you can give us a call at area code 951-356-6882. That's 951-356-6882. Have you guys ever stopped to think that this show would be awesome without the video element? If we just did audio, we'd probably be bulletproof. But you put the video into this, and the internet's always messing with us, and oh my god, there's a telephone call coming in already. So, hang on, let's go to the call, and then maybe I can try and figure out how to fix Chevelle's shot.
People are champing at the bit.
You are on the air with Around Midnight. How are you doing tonight, and who are we talking to? Well, and turn down your...
Yvette, Eloise, Luther.
Oh, hi, Yvette. You got to turn down the audio on however you're listening to us. I used to say turn down the TV.
Did.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Nice of you to call us tonight.
I was just calling to say hi, and I love seeing you guys.
Oh, well, we love that you can actually see us. Although, as I say, Chevelle seems to have something's gone wrong there with that
shot. You
shot.
only see a little bit of Chevelle.
Oh my God!
My little brother.
That is awesome, CJ. I love the puppet. Wait. Now we're gonna go to a full shot of that. There we go. There's Chevelle Divine. This is fantastic. That's.
You said you were gonna fix it.
Now
I just say leave it.
Now I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm thinking now we're gonna leave it alone. That's gonna be good. That's quality TV right there.
I hope you got your shoulder lifts ready.
It looks better than the condo from last week.
Oh man, that is.
I don't know how long I can do this. But
okay.
My eyelashes are amazing.
Huh.
You guys are cute. I'll call you later in a minute.
Okay. All right.
So
well,
get started.
Thank you for the telephone call. We really appreciate it. You have a wonderful evening. Keep watching. Hope you enjoy the show. Hope we get the show back together again in a few minutes, for that matter. But yeah, thank you again for calling.
No problem. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Yvette.
All right. Well, we have our first telephone call of the evening, and my God, Chevelle, your shot is just ginormous. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to fix this. One shot. And you know what the funny thing is? We had everything set up. This is the same story we have every week. We had everything set up and ready to go, and then come showtime, for some reason, it's all off. All right.
You screw things up big time.
Just to ruin the effect now, let's go to the actual Chevelle shot. And there's the real Chevelle Divine. There's the puppet master. There we go. Yeah, there's the puppet master along with his puppet. We're going to call that puppet.
Yeah, that's weird.
We're going to call that Moose Mitch McConnell. That's Mitch Moose McConnell. Because he's a puppet. So, yeah. All right, that works. That actually works really well.
Like Barack Obama was.
No. That's pretty messed up. I don't know. All right, I'm going to leave that alone. But, so yeah, we cannot, there's just no way to not talk about the election at this point. And Trump's insanity.
There's definitely a way.
Trump's insanity thinking that he can somehow stop votes being counted so that he doesn't end up the loser. I mean,
I'm not even sure if that would work. It would be a close race then, but I still think he's going to go down.
Is it? I
Or
mean,
at least I hope. Knock on wood.
Clearly, he does not understand the Constitution that he would sit there and try and this goes beyond mere disenfranchisement of voters. He's literally just trying to ignore them as if they don't exist and their vote doesn't matter.
Wholesale. Yeah.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this one.
How can you have mixed feelings?
Well, if the votes don't have to be postmarked until 2 days after the election, then that means people don't have to vote until 2 days after the election, which means you can sway the election whichever way you want. I think both parties should be concerned about it, and it's kind of surprising that only one party is the one complaining.
Okay, see, here's me
to believe the other party might not be on the up and up.
Here is the hole in your logic. The fact is that all of these rules were agreed upon prior to the election taking place. They didn't make the rules up after the fact. They didn't change them in progress. The rules were in place and approved by the Supreme Court before the election. So now, because it's not going in your favor, for you to suddenly say, I don't like these rules.
No, the flaw in your logic is you're assuming he agrees with the rules that were put down. He never agreed to it.
He doesn't have to. The court did.
I understand.
Why do we have a Supreme Court if the president's going to overrule it? That is a monarchy. That's not a democracy.
Yeah, I still don't think it's quite right. Particularly since I almost don't feel like there's a reason why it should have been necessary. I was watching a few commentators, and one of them was saying it has never been easier for them to vote than it has been this year. Like, people are calling you every day, asking you, hey, do you want us to mail you an application? Hey, do you need to register? Hey, do you want to, because they're trying to get so many people out there voting. There's really no excuse why, not even a month ago. I mean, they've been holding on. They've been sitting on ballots for like a month and a half because they sent them out a month and a half, and they still are having problems counting them. I'm just saying, it just doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, okay, let's talk about that since you want to bring that up.
That we're going to do that, then why don't we just do that every single year with every single state? Why not say, okay, well, we're going to take 2 months to count the votes this time, and you don't have to turn it in as long as it's postmarked with it. They don't do that with taxes. You don't turn your taxes in by the 15th, you get a fine.
Okay, let's talk about
if they
why.
Change that.
Let's talk about why they can't get those votes counted. The reason they can't get those votes counted is because the Republicans in the states that are holding out right now would not allow them to start counting the absentee ballots before November 3rd. Probably because they figured they would go to the Supreme Court and Trump would get them to stop the counting.
I don't know about that.
It is a fact that they would not allow them to start counting the votes early.
Sounds like alternative facts.
Oh, okay. All right, Trump. All right, there we go.
I'll tell you what is a fact.
Okay.
That Kanye West got upwards of 60,000 votes to be the president.
I'm down for that.
You down for Team Kanye?
Heck yeah.
Yeezy?
Absolutely.
A Yeezy in every pot and a whatever, and a, what did he do? A hologram of everyone's dad.
Oh, Yeah, interestingly enough, he appeared on the ballot in 2 places, so he actually had to concede defeat twice. Once as president on one ticket, and once as vice president on another ticket.
Yeah, I don't know that he had to concede.
I wonder if that is a new
Wow, it's just all kind of
precedent
foliage.
to actually appear on 2 tickets, one as president and one as vice
Bring
president.
back the puppet.
I
What-
can't. It's
what
too
is he
far away
doing?
from the mic.
What is he doing? Now he's blacked out his shot
What are
altogether.
you doing?
Your shot
Yeah, put up a
disappeared.
picture of something. Let me see. Let's do
What is he doing?
here.
Let's
do it.
Stop
But
playing with the
Thanks
camera.
Snopes.com
Ugh.
for that information about Yeezy and
I
his votes.
I was just about to get his shot back. I just set it up, and now he's totally tweaked it.
Effed it up again.
Why would you do this?
Fun.
We're just gonna go to an audio only
These things are fun
format.
for me.
Let's just do it.
See, now it just resized.
I know. I just got through setting up that shot. I literally just set it up.
I got tired of staring at Blake's face. Sue me. Call the Supreme Court.
There's a podcast fraud.
Oh, so speaking of which, by the way, speaking of all that stuff, I got this image was sent to me today by one of our viewers. I thought it was hilarious. I couldn't help but share this. This is phenomenal. If you could read this, Todd, in the Trump voice, I would be great.
And said, very suspicious how I was leading until they started counting my opponent's votes. Please investigate. Fake news.
Yes.
I mean, if that doesn't sum it all up right there, nothing else will. That's pretty much Trump's whole, his view of this whole election. Yes, I was winning, and it was all good. And then they started counting my opponent's votes, and that's very suspicious.
I think we need to put a lot of this in perspective, though. Because
Trump is a shyster. He went on.
The entire election.
He went on the evening after the polls closed, completely oblivious to the fact that all these votes hadn't been counted, and then arbitrarily declared himself the winner and said if he didn't win, the whole thing must be rigged.
I saw the speech, and that's not what he said.
That is exactly what he said. He said verbatim. In fact, we won this thing. That's exactly what he said. You are totally in denial, CJ.
He did not say anything more than what Biden said. Okay?
Biden said, let's be patient and wait. Trump said, we won this.
I caught the tail end of CNN's coverage. And the moment he said that, so granted, I don't like much of anybody. I'm not a fan of any politician.
You don't say.
Nah, I know. It's hard to believe, but as a general rule.
Cray.
You may have caught the tail end of that, but I watched the whole thing, and he literally said we won it.
Here's the problem that I have. When he first started talking about the biased media, I've always known the media was biased. Pre-Trump, I knew the media had a bias, and it was clear. And there were 2 different biases depending on which outlet you went to. But when you look at the way that they're covering this, anybody who does not believe that there is definitely a bias in the media is blind. And if you're okay with living in an echo chamber, that's fine. But what that's going to mean is you're going to end up with situations like we have today. Because leading up to this election, most of the polls had Biden leading by 8 to 10 points. But almost every single one I've seen, except for the gimme states like California and New York, it's been 50-50 pretty much. It's never been much more than 55 or something else for most of America. And that's the disconnect that people have because they're so blinded by this Trump rage. And you can't blame anybody for Biden not having a decisive win except the Democrats. They should have run a better candidate. And if they were going to pick him as a candidate, they should have run a better campaign because it's not going to inspire me to go out and vote for Joe Biden by simply telling me he's not Donald Trump. I know he's not Donald Trump. The problem with Joe Biden is he's Joe Biden.
I would like to say, by the way, for the record, wait, before you go any further, I want to say this for the record. Chevelle's audio is cutting in and out the entire time he's talking. That is not me. And that is not Biden supporters doing that. All right. So I want to be clear about that right now. We are not tampering with your Trump supporting audio. All right. Just to be clear.
We need to get some poll watchers in there on Joe's hands because I'm pretty sure he's muting the Trump supporter of our group. Let's get some of those poll watchers in here.
It was so totally not me. So totally not me.
Podcast fraud. Podcast fraud.
I don't know what's going on, but we're having major problems with your connection this evening, CJ, between your video resizing and
we're going to have to listen to this same BS for the next 4 years, no matter which one of these candidates win, because both parties actually no. The Democrats are a little behind the curve. The Republicans, I think, are getting a little smarter because they've had to deal with it longer. But the Democrats don't do something to actually talk to the majority of the base instead of catering to the fringes. They're not going to do well.
I just like how Chevelle has touted Trump's quote-unquote honesty and his approach to presidency overall.
Wait. You got to put that in context, fam.
Yeah, wait. For starters,
you're always saying at least he did what he said he was going to do. That's your main quote.
There's nothing honest about it. He was only honest about the fact that he was going to do what he said he was going to do. I do not believe him to be a particularly honest person. The only thing is, he's no more dishonest than any of the rest of them.
Oh,
he had the balls to say, I'm going to do this.
You could not be more wrong about that. All he has done is lie. And again, I'm going to go back to election night where he literally got up there and told everybody he won, even though they hadn't been done counting the votes, and said he was going to go to the Supreme Court and ask them to suppress the vote so that he didn't lose.
Anyway,
Joe, you feel really strongly about this.
I do. The man is a bald-faced liar.
On this show, the last 4 years have been nothing but you complaining about Trump and then looking at me for a response.
I'm not looking at you for a response. I don't need a response. He went out there and lied to the American people and has actually tried to shut down our democracy so that he can guarantee himself the power.
The democracy to guarantee himself the power. What was the rest of it?
That's okay. You can mock me all you want. I'm good with it. You know, your boy went out there in public and did that, so I'm good. I'm good. You know, you can't tell me he didn't say what he said.
And this is the thing that I keep saying. You guys, you're getting angry at me not because I'm supporting Trump, because I'm having the audacity to inform you that there are people that do support Trump.
Oh no, we could see all the red states. I'm very frightened by the red states.
It's not even about red states, because if you look at the outcome of this election, what you're going to see, and it's a dangerous thing if the Democrats don't address Trump as a Republican. Donald Trump, the one who they've accused of being one of the most racist presidents we've ever had, has actually raised the amount of minorities who support him. If you look at the exit polls in Texas, there are at least 2 counties that are 90+%, I think 95% and 99%. Poor Latino immigrants, and they voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump. So you can't blame this on anybody but the Democrats, because the people who the Democrats assume are going to come crawling to them so they can get this wonderful social happy-go-lucky and kumbaya, we're going to hug each other and everybody kiss because it's okay no matter what you identify as. People aren't feeling that. They're not feeling a I'm not Trump policy. Come to me with a policy. If Biden could have come with a coherent policy backed up by his 50-year record, then maybe he could have got my vote. But he couldn't. Couldn't do it.
Kelly's jumping in on the YouTube chat.
All right.
She says, it sounds like CJ's taking a play out of Trump's playbook. He doesn't have any answers, so he's just mocking Joe.
Yes.
Totally did do that.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
I'm not going to lie.
Look at this guy.
It was kind of fun. I'm kind of seeing why Trump does it. It's kind of hilarious.
And yet it didn't bother me. And yet it doesn't bother me. So I don't. It's not effective.
It's not trying to be effective. It's not for you. It's for the other 50%.
Those who can jump higher than their IQ, evidently.
See, and that's another mistake. I'm telling you, you guys, you got to stop playing into that. This whole thing about accusing Trump supporters of being ignoramuses, that's not going to play well at all. if you're going to claim that your party's taking the higher ground, you kind of have to take the higher ground. You can't just get pissed off when somebody says, well, I agree with this policy, and then they have the audacity to articulate why, and you're just like,
No. It's not that I disagree with their disagreeing with the policy. It's them trying to simply pick fights by mocking people. That's what makes them appear to be of lesser.
I'm talking about the fact that
you just got through saying it was a great thing. You understand why Trump does it because did he not just say that? It's just like Trump. I didn't say that. No. It's fake news. It didn't happen.
No, you're totally.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff.
And
it didn't
he's
happen.
got the nerve to use Donald Trump's voice. That's okay. I guess you can't hear it, so I've already said what I had to say.
So yeah, the Putin playbook. What's Trump going to do without his main backer, Vladimir Putin? I see a headline saying he may step down from office.
Vladimir Putin?
Healthcare concerns.
Oh, that's
health concerns.
There's no way. That's bogus. That's fake news. It's not going to happen.
He has Parkinson's disease.
Putin?
So
apparently, that's what the news claims.
Putin,
right from the New York Post.
The same guy who basically changed his political system so that he never had to give up power is going to step down because of Parkinson's. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I believe it when I see it, but I mean, who knows? Yeah, is this source reliable? Do you trust anything the New York Post says? I don't know.
Oh, see right there. You're talking the New York Post. I'm already questioning that. I mean, even I don't put much stock in the New York Post. So
what else is happening in the world?
There isn't much else happening in the world. We're waiting for the final counts to come in. Hey, Todd, do you actually have any of the current election results? Can you call that up to see what states have been decided? Because as of 5 o'clock this evening, they were still questions about the final count for Arizona and Nevada, though apparently Biden was in the lead in those two states. And Trump had a narrow margin lead in oh gosh, I can't think of the state that he was just barely leading in.
Well, let me
Pennsylvania.
ask you a question.
Huh? Go ahead.
Who is to blame for Donald Trump being president? Like
the red states?
Yeah, no. Who's the red state? That's
the red states.
That's kind of
all the states.
But you can't say that because red states are made up of human beings. So are we going to blame all this on white people? Don't blame this on not enough black people. Don't blame this on Latinos, Latinx, whatever the catchphrase is now.
No. See, you want to make this a race issue. It's not a race issue. It's not a race issue at all.
Then how come everybody screams racism when you talk about Trump? You can't sit here and tell me it's not a race issue and then tell me that Trump is getting a racist vote.
The fact that Trump got voted into office 4 years ago is not a race issue. Trump is a racist. He refuses to denounce white supremacy. That's a racist in my book.
White supremacy.
Why?
Exactly. Why? Why do I need to denounce that?
So you're going to say you're okay with it?
Now, Joe, you know me better than that.
Because, I mean, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I'm the whitest guy on this panel, and I got a problem with white supremacists, and I'm not ashamed to say I don't like them.
Okay. But here's the thing. Like, everybody's, like, trying to lay this racism thing at the foot of the Republicans.
No, Donald Trump. Specifically, Donald Trump. Not the Republicans, Donald Trump.
Republicans are the ones voting for Donald Trump. This is why I'm asking you, who are you saying is the reason? Because 50% of America, give or take 5%, says we like this guy or we like his policies. In fact, a lot of the people that I talk to say they don't particularly care for this guy, but they can't argue with the results that he's gotten.
Well,
if it wasn't for how
I'm going to stop you.
The economics alone.
I'm going to stop you right there because Trump, your facts are wrong again. You're saying 50% of the people like Trump, and the fact is that's not true. If the president was voted in by the popular vote, Hillary Clinton would have been president 4 years ago, and Biden would already be elected now if we were voting by the popular vote.
By how
it would still have to be more than 50%. So it would either be 51 to 49 at the very minimum, which means it's not half, it's not equal.
Give or take 5%, and you're missing the point.
The point is nobody actually likes Trump, except the people that are blind to his...
You're totally missing the point. The point is, in spite of the fact that people don't like Trump, including people who voted for Trump, they like the policies and they like his agenda. That's the thing everybody's missing. And that's the thing Democrats are screwing themselves on, because they have such a scattered agenda. They're trying to make everybody happy and everybody's suffering, and everybody's saying, I don't need you to worry about everybody right now. Can we get Detroit making cars again? Can we get Iowa exporting corn again? Can we get pick whatever your industry is. In California, you have record numbers of homelessness. In the richest nation on the planet, I don't know, California, maybe New York, one of the two. There's no excuse for that.
Well, I got to say this. You're talking about how you don't like Biden because you don't think Biden had a coherent agenda, and so you can't get behind him for that. I don't believe that Trump's agenda is actually to help out people anywhere in this country, unless they're really, really rich like himself. And even then, I don't believe that he cares about them at all either. I think he's really just in this for himself. That's truly what I believe.
So here's something that I guess I'm able to do that you're not. I'm able to separate my feelings for Biden from my feelings for Trump. So I don't vote against people. I'm voting for someone. And just so that we're clear, I did not vote for Biden and I did not vote for Trump, because neither one of them really had what I was looking for. And I'm not the type of person who's going to give into this, but if you don't vote for them, you're throwing your vote away. Well, it's my vote.
Okay, but
and people died for me to have the right to do that. Hold on, I'm not done.
All right.
So my point is this. You said that I didn't vote for Biden because he didn't have a coherent agenda.
Because you don't believe he had a coherent agenda.
No. It's deeper than that.
Okay.
I didn't vote for Biden because of his past agenda. His 50-year record that has directly affected my family. That's why I didn't vote for Biden. And if they'd have put anybody else of those 20 candidates that was on that Democratic stage, except for the guy who was coming in second, third, and fourth for most of those debates, they might have gotten my vote. But they didn't, because they were sitting there trying to play politic games. They're like, oh, well, he was Obama's VP. We could ride coattails. I'm not interested in coattails. I'm interested in what this person can do for me. Give me an Andrew Yang. Give me Klobuchar. Give me anybody. But Biden and Harris, those were my two least favorite candidates on that stage.
So you are voting against people then?
No.
It sounds like it to me.
Their agenda. No, it's not voting against them. I chose not to vote for them because I don't agree with their historically established agenda.
Well,
the one thing about Trump, he came in 2016 and he didn't have a record. They tried to use that against him, and he demolished a stage of an equal number of people on the Republican debates because their records were shoddy.
Well, all right.
And then he came and won the presidency over Hillary Clinton, who was like the goddess of the Democratic Party.
No.
If they were smart and they'd listen to their base, this would not be a conversation.
Hillary Clinton managed to disenfranchise a whole bunch of people long before that because she put up with Bill Clinton's philandering, among other things, because they felt she was just in it for her own personal agenda. No, they felt that she was willing to put up with whatever as long as it furthered her political agenda.
It's about Benghazi. It's about the emails. There's a whole lot of things that are reasons not to support Hillary Clinton. And it has nothing to do with Bill. Bill is over 20 years ago. And people loved Bill, so that really should have worked in her favor.
It wasn't about Bill. It was her willingness to support him no matter what.
They just didn't like Hillary. I don't know how to tell you any other way. You had a white female liberal candidate who had just spent the last 4 years underneath Obama and one of the most popular presidents in the world, and she couldn't get a vote? Come on, dude. You could do better than that.
Well, again, people didn't like her. There's no question about it. As far as your argument against... vote. Yes, she did. And if we were electing presidents on the popular vote, she would have been president.
Which would be unfortunate.
but the fact that you don't like Biden for whatever your reasons are totally legitimate. I mean, your reasons are your reasons, and I wouldn't say that you don't have a right to those reasons. And it's not implausible that a lot of his political history has been lackluster, to say the least. On the other hand, in all of that time, he was a bit player. Now he's going to sit in the big chair and be the one that gets to make the final call on everything.
Hold on,
and
I got to pause you right there.
Can change.
No, you can't sit here and call Biden a bit player, because part of his whole campaign was, I ran this for Obama. I ran that for Obama. This was my idea during Obama's thing. So that's not a bit player.
But Obama still had the final say on everything. So, and he had to work under that administration's line of thinking, that their agenda. He had to follow that line. Now he gets to make the line. Assuming he gets to the big chair, he'll get to define the line.
That terrifies me.
I can see that.
That terrifies me based on his record. Based entirely on his record, I don't want to see Biden. You should have gave me a Warren. You should have gave me, who was that Hawaiian? Not the one who cried on stage all the time. That was a bit much. But anybody but Biden, man.
Todd, you're not saying a word there.
And just so I can step a little bit further out in my racism, I'm tired of these octogenarian white guys telling me how they want to run the country. Can we get somebody that's maybe close to 40, 45?
Well, you got to remember that in the Constitution,
that have been in for 50
you can't even start running for president until after 40.
Oh, what? I did say 40, 45.
You realize Todd is not old enough to run for the presidency.
Well, he could run for Senate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well.
I would vote
jumping in on the YouTube chat. He says Trump's ahead in Georgia by 1,805 votes as of right now, according to CNN.
Oh, awesome. You got a network of people out there giving us election information?
Come on, you know the producers are always on.
That's awesome.
And,
all right.
Yeah.
So here, I have a question.
Wait. Todd's got more information. Go ahead, Todd.
Kelly's jumping in on the YouTube chat. She says Chavelle's racist. That is all.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, CJ. What were you?
She says a bunch of stuff. She's talking about the reasons. Yeah, people generally didn't like Hillary, the emails, or the reasons that Trump was perceived as racist, the wall,
him refusing to denounce white supremacy, him saying that there are fine white supremacists.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how else I can say this to you. Two things. One, I'm still a black man in America. Two, how do you explain counties along the Texas border of Mexico, 90% Mexican, that are voting for Trump? So the wall, for me, I can't hear that argument. Because the people that are complaining about the wall don't live along that wall.
How do I explain that?
In New York complaining
here's
about,
what I would say.
Well,
here's what I would say to that. Here's my explanation. We don't have enough information to make an accurate guess, to hazard an accurate guess, or give an accurate explanation for that. But here's what I will say. I would like to see a demographic study done of all those Latinos that you reference. I would like to know how they are doing economically, because my theory, and this is strictly a theory,
low income Latino voters.
My theory, however, is that they are doing better than they were, and their position is, I've got mine, now yours is your problem.
But don't the Democrats promise to lift them up even more? So I think the difference between Democrats and Republicans, and I'm kind of saying what I've heard other people say, is like Democrats are all about supporting poor Mexicans, poor blacks, poor Asians, all your poor POCs now, people of color. Republicans just want to make them rich. So they're rich POCs. I want to be a rich one.
Last time I checked, the Republicans were trying to lock them out of the country.
Biden did a pretty damn good job of that, too. Obama did a pretty damn good job of that, too.
That was under the Obama administration. Biden wasn't calling the shots. He had to toe the political line for the administration.
That's part
Got
of
a
my
couple-
problem. He's towing a
Got a
line.
couple other numbers here from Nikki. She says Arizona 90% reported, Biden up by 46,667. Nevada 89% reported, Biden up by 11,438. Pennsylvania 95% reported, Trump up by 26,319.
Now, that is an interesting statistic to me because
And she's also
Pennsylvania...
correcting you. She says to run for president, you have to be 35.
35?
I
Are
thought it
you
was
sure about
35.
that? Okay, I don't know. I thought it was in the 40s. But that's interesting to me about
Producer Nick
Pennsylvania.
is never wrong.
It's interesting to me about Pennsylvania because that is Biden's home state. So I am surprised to see that Trump has a lead there in Pennsylvania.
That's not Biden's home state. That's why Biden's losing Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, what is
Biden
Biden's home
was
state?
born there and he left the state.
Oh, so you're saying because
That's not
he
his
left,
home state.
they
That's the state he's from. And Pennsylvania's not feeling it. Like, oh yeah, you were born here and just, left us by the wayside, went off and made your millions of dollars, bought your 6 houses, and you good? Nah, fam.
Well, God, this conversation is boring. But seriously, I'm looking at the results, and it's saying Biden has 264 and Trump has 214. Realistically, there's no way Trump could win now, right?
it depends on how many electoral votes are available in the states that are still
270 something.
outstanding. 270 is what
Biden
you
still
need.
hasn't cleared the threshold.
Yeah, you need 270 to become the president, but it depends on how many delegates are available in the states that are still outstanding. You're saying what's the current delegate count for Trump?
214.
214. So yeah, he would need to make up like about 56 delegates, I guess, in order to get to the magic number now. I don't know if there are enough states that have enough delegates to do that. But if he were to take all the remaining states, even if that didn't get him above Biden, if Biden doesn't make 270, we technically don't have a president yet.
Nikki says Nevada has 6 electoral votes. So, yeah, it's sounding unlikely at best.
Well, is
And
that
also, I was reading a headline from Arizona.
wait, CJ,
From
is
Arizona
that a
Secretary of State. That, Trump's throwing around all these radical claims of voter fraud, and she says there is absolutely no merit to any claim of widespread voter fraud in Arizona.
okay? I wanted to, you were talking about the inevitability it's beginning to look like of Biden winning that. CJ, was that a tear I saw coming out of the corner of one of your eyes?
Pretty sure it wasn't.
Oh, just checking. Okay, all right. He had that glassy-eyed look there.
He started to wistfully look off camera.
Honestly, I surprised myself years ago when I decided I was just going to stop voting all D, all R, all whatever. I decided I was just going to look at whatever the issues were that they were talking about, see where each one of those people stood, do a blind tally, add it all up, and see where I went. And that led to me voting neither Republican nor Democrat 4 times. So I don't have an allegiance to either one of these parties. And I don't think either of these parties deserves my allegiance. And frankly, I don't think they deserve either of your allegiance. I think what needs to happen, if we really want to see the change that everybody keeps talking about in this country, is people need to start voting on issues. Stop voting out of fear. Stop voting because it's the lesser of two evils. And you got to just start doing more than checking the box with the right letter next to it.
Well, I will.
Because they're sending idiots down these pipelines.
I will say this, CJ. I started a grassroots campaign right here on the show to get myself elected as president and you as vice president. And we were going to make Todd the Secretary of State because, apparently, according to Nikki, he might actually be old enough to become president, but I'm still not 100% sure about that. Anyway, the point is, I started this grassroots campaign.
Someone's down.
But I've checked with the electoral offices on this, and it turns out that we didn't even get a single write-in vote. So we didn't even come close to faring as well as Kanye. So yeah, there's no way I can actually vote my conscience because I wanted to vote for myself.
You can still write in.
I could write myself in, sure, but then I would have been the only
But you
vote.
didn't. You voted.
No,
for
I
Biden because you were
figured I
afraid
would
Trump.
go for I wanted to stop Trump, and I knew that I couldn't get. There was no groundswell. I've checked the donations page that we set up, and we didn't get a single dime in donations either. As a matter of fact, and I don't know how this is possible, but our GoFundMe account actually shows a negative number. So did you take out some petty cash for something? I mean, did you go get some Chinese food one night? What was the deal with that?
I gotta go, guys.
Your mommy calling?
Just talking some BS. I'm feeling like I can't hear him.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know.
Well, I mean, Trump Jr. is going to
Nobody
make
take
up
no
for
money.
all this when he runs in 2024, right?
You know what? There's something important. There's an important factor here. Let's just say for the sake of discussion right now that Biden actually does pull this off and he becomes president for the next 4 years. There's nothing to stop Trump from coming back and doing it, running again in 4 years, because he's only served one term and he can serve two. And it's not even without precedent that would be done. I believe, and maybe Nikki can double check me on this one too, I believe Grover Cleveland was the other president that actually served 2 terms, not consecutively. So it's been done before.
One of the
It
Roosevelts
could be
did
done.
that.
Well, again, maybe Nikki can shoot us something on the chat, and Todd can verify those facts or something. The point is, it has happened in the past. There's nothing to stop it from happening again. Technically, Trump could still run for another, take another shot at the presidency in 4 years or in 8 years. I don't know. He could wait 12 years and try it again if he's still around.
I think the most driving factor for me when I vote for anybody is how much do I think that it's their responsibility to govern my life? Like, what aspects of my life should they be responsible for? I came to terms with a couple of things not too long ago, and that is that the sole function of government is and has always been, all through history, to protect the wealth of the nation and the people at the top of that food chain, or whatever that country is. So for the most part, if it benefits you, Todd, me, they don't care unless it starts to affect them. They don't care about any other nation unless it starts to affect the wealth of this nation. They don't care about the welfare of anybody or anything if it's not helping them directly. So I just can't see giving those people responsibility for me, giving them authority over me, knowing that they genuinely don't care unless it starts to affect them directly. So that's part of the reason why I'm for smaller government as opposed to bigger government. I think there are some things where you do need to have federal government regulation, but a lot of the arguments people make about how relevant the Constitution is anymore, some of them are stupid, but it was written in a different time, but that doesn't mean that it's not valid. There's some things that I seriously disagree with, but Amendment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're pretty legit.
Well, you know
6,
what I'm
7, 8,
thinking?
9, maybe even 10.
Here's what I'm thinking. At this point, we need to repurpose that GoFundMe account that we created, and somehow we need to get it back out of the negative number category, and I don't know how to do that yet. But anyway, what we need to do is get a GoFundMe account going again there and get all this money, and then we need to buy ourselves an island somewhere and form our own government. We'll call it the Island of Around Midnight, and
It wouldn't work.
Why not? Why are you poo-pooing this already?
It's been done, and they had decimated that island. That's why Haiti is the poorest nation on the planet. They kicked out all of the colonization, and that Haiti shares an island with the Dominican Republic. The Haitians kick people out. Dominican Republic, they're still tied to some other colonials. And Haiti is right next to another nation, separated by some mountains. And they're dirt poor, while the DR is not doing too bad. I mean, they're not awesome, but they're not Haiti. So it's been done. And they did it with Cuba. They didn't like Cuba's politics, and they turned Cuba into a dump.
Well, okay.
And Marcos
so
and all that other stuff.
obviously,
Nikki's confirming, Joe, that Grover Cleveland, our 22nd and 24th president, was the only president to leave the White House and return for a second term 4 years later, 1885 to 1889, and then 1893 to 1897. And then I also see.
All right, I got a point right there. Look at that.
Yeah, another interesting fact: FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, is the only president in U.S. history to serve 4 full terms. Well, full is maybe saying too much because it says he did die during his 4th term.
Well,
I think it was because of that they passed term limit.
I believe you are correct. I believe that is the reason that they finally decided to pass a term limit on the presidency. But, it was working for everybody, so nobody had any complaints up to that point. But I could see where they could see that becoming problematic in the future. And quite frankly, I expected that if Trump got in for another 4 years, he would try to overturn the term limit on presidency. But anyway, that having been said, we are like way overdue for taking a break. We were so busy arguing with each other over all this stuff that we sort of skipped out on the last break. So I think it's actually time for us to take one now. And I guess, we'll come back in a few minutes. This is around midnight somewhere for Thursday, October the 5th, 2020. And we're still waiting for a final outcome in the 2020 presidential election. And obviously, if anything does break, I'm sure one of our producers will let us know, and we will put that out there for you too, although I'm not holding my breath. But we are going to be back right after this.
How's everybody doing? We all right? Great job. You guys are doing it.
Tackle football is like smoking. The younger I start, the longer I'm exposed to danger. You wouldn't let me smoke. When should I start tackle? Choose flag under 14.
We're all busy, but our health comes first.
I've got this mammogram scheduled. When is your colonoscopy?
Screening increases the chances of detecting certain cancers early when treatment can be most effective. Make time to schedule your screening appointment now.
Hello, I'm Congressmember Judy Chu. Talk to a doctor about your risk factors to determine what screenings are best for you. Make your appointment today and keep it.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this.
Vehicle accidents are stressful enough. You don't need someone showing up at the scene trying to pressure you into letting them tow away your vehicle. Call your roadside assistance provider or insurance company for towing company suggestions, or consult with police on the scene. And always have the price and terms in writing before you let them hook it up. If you suspect fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB or visit www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
You're a busy man when you turn 18. But with all you've got going on, don't forget to register with Selective Service. It's the law. It only takes about 2 minutes to register at sss.gov. And you can do it without even looking up from your phone. Just like that. When you turn 18, register at sss.gov.
All right, we are back right here. This is around midnight somewhere for Thursday, October the 5th, 2020, and we'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that Malibu Film Foundation's films, festivals, charity events, and special programs continue to evolve in support of the arts in your community. You can help, you can get involved, and find out more by going to MalibuFilmFestival.com. That's MalibuFilmFestival.com. All right, I am Joe Carbonetta, and again, this is around midnight somewhere. If you'd like to join in on the conversation tonight, you can give us a call anytime at area code 951-356-6882. That's 951-356-6882. You can also reach out to us at Mixified@gmail.com. That's Mixified@gmail.com. I have the rest of the gang here with me tonight. I got Todd Fluker. I've got Chevelle Devine, who kind of looks like he's falling asleep there. Let's look in on Chevelle. There he is. Either he's hiding behind his microphone or he's literally taking a nap. You doing okay there, CJ?
A little bit of both.
Okay. All right. And Todd Fluker. Todd, how is it going over there? You're looking.
Apparently, Nikki has problems with you constantly saying it's October.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are right. It's November. It is November. Sorry, Nikki. Thank you for clarifying that. It is November 5th, 2020. I don't know why I said October, come to think of it. It is November 5th. You know what? In fact, just to reinforce that point, let me put this up there. It is November 5th, 2020. I am totally off the mark tonight. Okay, go ahead there, Todd.
Oh, man. I was just reading the craziest thing about Trump and Twitter and about how much special treatment he apparently gets, about how Twitter generally brings the ban hammer down on people when they tweet such salacious things as the thing Trump tweets on a regular basis.
Huh.
And they just had a list of examples of Trump tweeting out things that are either inciting violence or just plain wrong, factually.
I'm a nice guy.
And just how normally that person receives strikes, and they actually have a number of times put Trump's tweets behind I don't know, it's not a paywall, but it's a warning message.
Well, wait, you know what?
This might not be exactly true.
So, Mr. Trump, how do you get away with all of this?
I'm really rich.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that.
So Twitter's just saying, if Biden gets in, then it's going to be an end to that for Mr. Trump.
Huh. You know what? It will be interesting to see in the coming days. Let's say, again, we're going out on a limb because nobody has certified anything yet. Nothing has been called. I know that the media in general has taken a lambasting for suggesting things perhaps out of turn. Sometimes rightly so, sometimes not, sometimes wrongly. And I realize that I'm reaching here by lumping us in with the media because I don't know exactly how much pull we really have. But in saying that nobody has decreed anything yet. But let's just say, for the sake of discussion, that Biden gets the White House. How much of a Twitter storm do you think is going to come from Trump after that happens?
Yeah, it's going to be a deluge of tweets. This is sad. Fake news. It's going to be all his greatest hits just on a repeat.
Continuous loop.
And this is interesting. I'm looking at the difference between USA Today's coverage and NBC News' coverage. USA Today says Biden is up to 264 to 214.
Oh.
But NBC News has it at 253.
To 214?
Maybe
253. So
253 to 214.
So they both have the Trump numbers the same, but the Biden numbers are fluctuating from coverage to coverage.
Yeah, it's like 9 off.
Well,
wait, no, that's 11. Sorry.
CJ, what's your conspiracy theory on that one?
I don't have one. I got nothing.
Come on, we're not going to take a walk down conspiracy alley?
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
No. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. They're clearly calling one of these swing states for Biden already, and somebody else didn't.
Oh. Okay.
Rocket science, Joe.
All right.
It's math. Count the votes.
Okay, well, all right. So we have to move on to some other topics, although I will say that the whole election information situation is on the table all night. If you want to join in on the conversation, give us a call, 951-356-6882. Doesn't matter who on the panel here, this panel, that you side with. We definitely want to hear your opinions on this, so definitely call us up if you feel like talking about this. We know that people need a shoulder to cry on both sides at this point. So, we're here for you, and you can call us up at any time. But moving on to a related subject, and I'll leave it to you guys to figure out why that I'm tying these two together. But on a related subject, I've spent a lot of time. I spend a lot of time watching TV into the late night hours just because work keeps me up late. I try to catch the late editions of the news. Certainly with the election situation going on and being what it is, I have been watching a lot of late night television. I was definitely glued to the set, riveted on election night for all the good that did, because there wasn't a whole lot of information forthcoming for various reasons. But if you spend any time watching TV at night, you have suddenly become aware of a new phenomenon, something that's extraordinarily important, at least they would have you believe late at night. And this is the concept of manscaping. And I don't know if I'm missing something here or what. I mean, I'll be the first to say I can understand the need for a trim down there once in a while. But all of a sudden, there are all these products on the market that are designed to help you do a more efficient, effective job of manscaping. And the thing that really got my attention was the discussion about how these products will save you from those accidents. And I'm thinking, what kind of accidents? What are people doing with razors or whatever that they're having accidents? I'm not trying to.
Joe, you've never had one of those accidents?
No, I'm not trying to get a perfect bikini line down there. Am I missing something? And see, here's another thing. Let me.
Bruh, this sounds like white people problems.
Here's another thing. If you ever watch those commercials for shaving razors, for men's shaving razors anyway, you'll always see that guy. He's got that great smile and everything, and his face is perfectly lathered up and everything. He just grabs that thing, goes just like that, and I mean, there's a perfectly clean streak down the side there, and it's perfectly. And I'm calling BS on that right now. Okay, that guy was already shaved underneath all that foam, and there's not even a blade on that razor, because anybody who has to shave, who's ever tried that stunt, knows you only do that once and you'll never try that stunt again. I mean, there aren't enough Band-Aids in the world to stop the bleeding that'll come from that trick. So, I mean...
that's what I think about the whole manscaping thing. You only make that mistake once.
So, well, again, I'm thinking to myself, who's trying that stunt down there? Because I can tell you right now, if you get a sharp object near my nether regions, I'm taking that very, very slowly and carefully. How do you have an accident?
There are probably benefits to doing it. I mean, there's less dingleberryage if you don't have a whole lot of foliage going on there, because there's not a whole lot for it to get caught on. You're not going to get all the weird little TP bits that are stuck around there and whatnot. But I'm happy to be nappy, bro. I'm good.
Oh my God, your poor wives.
I'm not trying to put anybody's razor blade.
Can we get a T-shirt? Todd, can we get him a T-shirt that says that happy? I don't even want to say that. There have been white television and radio personalities that have used that word, and they've gotten taken off the air permanently. So I'm not using. But can we get him a shirt? Because that's awesome, right there.
I think it's already a shirt.
Yeah, Chevelle's nappy-headed balls.
Oh.
That's all I need.
This town's getting too rough for me.
Wow.
I've got balls of steel.
Yeah, Chevelle, talking about the benefits of maybe taking care of yourself down there. How about cutting down the general funkitude that's coming from that area? Do you think that might help a little bit?
It does help.
If it's not a giant thicket of hair.
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right.
But I mean, I don't know about you, but I like to polish my jingleberries. Give them a nice. Excellent. Well, that's too much.
I
don't run around with funky bits.
Yeah. Well, okay, so yeah, I mean,
for a good shampooing, but I'm not taking a razor down there. Especially, I mean, I'm a married man. Ain't nobody else looking at my business.
Well,
I can't get her to look at it.
Again, I'm going to go on record as saying I understand the need to occasionally trim down there, because quite frankly, when it gets unruly enough, it is kind of uncomfortable. But it's funny that you mentioned that, because we've all seen, unless you've been living under a rock, we've all seen that commercial with this plant that's trying to pour a cup of coffee, and the whole thing about his bush has become unruly, and so he needs to like. Everybody's seen this commercial, right? We know what I'm talking about.
What's his face? Gronk.
Yeah. Well, but again, I mean, that's just one of I think I've counted at least 4 different products in the late night hour that are catering to this. Yeah. Well, I'm saying conservatively. That's why I say at least 4 that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
The internet has shown an overwhelming concern with my junk.
When did this? How did this happen? How did this happen?
And seriously, I feel like they're also trying to push a lot of soap products towards the male demographic these days. There's like those commercials I'm constantly seeing with the Sasquatch on them for that soap, and those are pretty funny ads.
Well, I'm going to go out and say, because we talked about this 20 years ago, that this was a long time coming. I remember railing on that fact 20 some odd years ago when we were doing this show, that you walk into the toiletries aisle at any store, doesn't matter, name your favorite location, and there is an aisle that goes on for a mile, and it's not just one side of the aisle, it's the other side too, and it is all feminine hair care products, because there's shampoos and conditioners and hydrators and, some with curls and some that take away the curls and there's a million of these things. And then you go and you ask for the men's shampoo, and if anybody can tell you where it is, they point to this corner and there's like 3 different products for you to choose from. And my complaint with all of them is that they're all this 3-in-1 stuff. And okay, I realize that many men are very, very basic in everything, and you could even argue that I'm metrosexual in this, but I don't want a product that I'm supposed to use to wash my hair, condition my hair, and scrub down my face and body all at the same time. To me, there's something fundamentally wrong with that idea. If that was the case, I'd just grab the bar of Dial and do it that way, but we know that would destroy your hair. There's a reason there is a shampoo, and then there's a bar of soap for washing the rest of your body.
Listen,
that's what they'd like you to believe.
What's that?
I have a hard time finding cocoa butter. Can we talk about that issue?
Cocoa butter? What?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. You don't even.
I thought that was something women use to like smooth their skin or something. Isn't that what they put in like Dove or something like that? Or no, that's moisturizer. I don't know. What? Caress. One of those products.
In stuff. I'm just trying to get straight cocoa butter. I'm not trying to get herbal essential cocoa butter, purified, emulsified, all that other bullcrap. Just give me the cocoa in butter form. That's all I'm asking for. That's all I want.
Okay.
That's it.
Huh. Why? Why do you want this?
Black people problems. Here's the ashiness.
Oh, okay. All right.
Headed balls.
Well, what wouldn't? So another skincare product, another moisturizing cream that wouldn't work. It has to be cocoa butter. I mean, I'm asking this legitimately because I don't know.
I don't know what it is. So let's go back to the hair products. Black people's hair just is not as greasy as yours, fam. I'm sorry. All that stuff you put in there, strip all the nutrition out of your hair, not good for my hair.
Okay.
Y'all are some greasy people. I'm not trying to be mean, but if you need to chemically create something other than water and a basic soap to clean your hair, something is wrong with your hair.
I'm not even going to argue with you. I am not even. I'm not going to tell you
put all that extra crap in your hair.
I'm not going to say that you're wrong because I frankly do believe that me personally, I'm not going to speak for all whitedom in general, but me personally, I can wash my hair once, twice a day sometimes because I feel better that way. Like I do feel that my hair does get greasy. So yeah, I
too much.
What's that?
So yeah, it sounds like he's confirming what you're saying, Chevelle.
Well, again,
AF.
I'm not gonna say I'm not. I do. I sometimes will wash my hair twice in a day because I just feel, especially if I've gone out and I've done some work and I feel like I've been sweating or something, my head feels greasy and I want to wash it again.
You just need to understand that all the problems you have looking for products are intensified when you're melanated.
Okay. All right. Now
Because we just can't use that stuff. You guys put some weird stuff on your bodies.
Weird stuff as in how?
I can't use any of those soaps that you guys use. They all cause my skin massive irritation.
Guys.
It may just be me. Racist. We already established some racist. But like they cause my skin to break out. They dry me up, which is why I need the cocoa butter. I gotta have a chaser for that crazy soap you guys use.
Well,
I am very particular about the soaps that I buy.
I can see that.
What soap do you use?
Me?
You use Dial, don't you?
I do. Well, let's see. I do use Dial. Lately, I've been using a different body wash. I got away from the Dial just because I was looking for something with a different scent. I found something that I really liked. I can't remember the name of it now.
It has pretty enough for you.
What's that?
Dial didn't smell pretty enough for you.
It was very generic, and I was looking for something that had a more I don't know, just
Your
some.
wife told you smell funny.
No, that wasn't the case at all. And I cannot think of the name of the stuff. It has raw sugar. It was called something like raw sugar. I don't know. It's really bizarre. I mean, I don't choose products based on the name. It smelled halfway decent. I went with it. I've actually kind of liked it. So I've been using it. But yeah,
I have to use it.
What's
Kelly
that?
says she's going to stop watching if we keep talking about Chevelle's balls.
I don't blame her. I would stop watching.
Yeah, who has been talking about
I have to
this?
look at him every day.
Besides him.
Missed it by that much.
Everybody's talking about it.
Oh, okay. Well, so like Todd, what cleanliness products do you use? Try to be as generic as possible because nobody's paying us.
I like how he shouted out Dial, but he's telling me, don't use any names.
I didn't shout out Dial. That was Chevelle that shouted out Dial.
I use water.
Oh, you don't even use soap. I see.
With all the chemicals and crap they put in your water, you really don't need soap. That stuff will strip your skin off on its own.
I live too close to JPL. There's jet fuel in my water, so I'm fine.
I see. Okay, that explains a whole lot. So you don't actually use any soap at all. Wow. So that's like
no soap for you.
No soap for you.
That's how I get this lustrous hair, by not stripping out my essential oil.
Was that a big chunk that just came out in your hands? Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, I don't even know how we got on to what body washes we use when we started out talking about the problem with manscaping and this bizarre phenomenon. But anyway,
it's just a whole lot extra. Like I'll use the same clippers I use on my face. I'm just like zoop, zoop, zoop. Good.
Huh.
Wait, so you do actually manscape?
Like maybe once every 6 years. The first time I did it, honestly, I just wanted to see what it would look like. Looked kind of funny. It's like one of those hairless cats.
Were you trying to do like the poodle thing where you had one big poof and a whole bunch of like small, flat spots or something? What's funny about this? Again, I don't understand how people have accidents or anything.
I don't use a blade. First off, we're not putting no blades in there. I use my electric clippers.
That's a blade powered by a motor. Huh. Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not dissimilar for me. Yeah. When I'm shaving up the sides, then you shave up the sides.
Well, like I said, I'm not trying to take a razor down there, so I don't understand how people have accidents in the first place. Because I'm not trying to take a straight razor down there. Again, I'm not working on the perfect bikini line. That's not my goal at all. So I don't understand what these accidents that everybody is talking about is, and I thought I would just bring that up.
I don't understand the fascination with hair in general. I don't get it.
Oh, we got
some weird such.
We got a telephone call here. Let's see what they're calling to speak on. Hey, good evening. You are on Around Midnight Somewhere. Who are we talking to tonight?
Anastasia Beaverhausen.
How are you doing, Anastasia? We haven't heard from you in a while.
You guys are killing me.
Okay. All right. That's good. I hope that's a good thing. That sounds like it's a good thing.
I think she's crying.
I don't know if she laughing or crying. I'm not sure.
This isn't going well.
I mean, that's probably similar to Chevelle's wife after this much ball talk.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
Nobody has spent this much time thinking about Chevelle's balls.
Wait, I was going to say, Chevelle's got to talk about his balls because nobody else does.
I'm so angry.
This is it.
I agree with Kelly. Stop talking about Chevelle's balls.
Yeah, how did my balls all of a sudden?
I believe you brought them up, Chevelle. I believe you brought them up.
You also have. Well, do you?
But back to manscaping.
Okay.
You know what I think is gross is when men don't shave their armpit hairs.
Oh, really?
Shave them? Like
Yeah,
shave them
because-
bald?
Yeah, because I've seen men. There's this neighbor across the street from me. He always walks around topless, and it grosses me out because his armpit hair is almost down to his waist.
Okay, that might be a bit much. That might be a bit much.
It's gross. And then when I go to the
They're like
gym,
braided.
and you see these guys
it
with
gets
their
to the
white
point
holders
where
on or
you can
whatever, and
comb
the
it with
armpit
an
hairs
Afro
are
pick
so
and
long you can
something.
braid it and put beads on them. It's gross.
All right, what were you
Men
saying?
need to shave the armpit hairs.
What were you saying, CJ? If it gets to the point, what?
If it gets to the point where you can use an Afro pick on it, that's too much. You gotta reel that in.
All right, a quick poll of the panel here.
You would think simple friction would keep it short like that. Like, this guy's obviously not moving around enough.
Of the three men here on this panel, since Anastasia, our caller, has brought this up, how many of us here on the panel right now have ever actually shaved their armpits? I'm just curious. Wait, let me.
None of you.
No, I think we do have a hand up. Hang on here. So
Yeah.
Chevelle has a hand up.
I've done it at least the once. Just to
Todd is claiming that he has done it.
Yeah, it's not
See,
fun.
you should. Men should.
And I did it because I got new clippers and I just kind of wanted to see what they were good for. So I was like,
Yeah, but then you shave those and they start growing back longer, don't they? You know what I mean?
No, not necessarily.
No way.
But you all need to shave. If you're shaving your balls, you need to shave your armpits.
yeah, I'm generally not a hairy person. I have developed some new hairs in some new and interesting places.
That's it.
But as a rule, I'm not a hairy guy. I've seen both of you dudes without a shirt.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all got problems.
Here's the thing. Here on Around Midnight,
somebody.
the local boys are going to start a new line of products. We're going to start manscaping products also. We're going to sell our own line of clippers. We're going to call it the Ball Pit. That's it. I'm trademarking that right now, the Ball Pit.
Your balls in your pit.
Yep.
Nobody uses that anymore.
No, you should call it the pit ball, and then we can have a dog as the logo.
Pit ball. Oh, and that's wait. Okay, so Chevelle's trademarking pit ball.
Angry looking ball.
And we got Ball Pit. That's good.
I'm gonna get you guys some pink shavers.
Pink shavers.
I'd be lying if I said I haven't used them.
Oh, all right. So how many here on the panel have used a woman's razor to shave? We got one.
All three.
No, I've never done that. Never. Only Chevelle. Chevelle's done that. I have not.
Are a scam.
Todd has not.
They are a.
No way. I don't use a razor at
Listen,
all.
that just makes you guys lazy. That's all that is.
I have.
I'm glad you guys have.
Right, you guys are lazy.
I have an
You
old
guys
school.
probably don't even want to lay next to you.
I
with
have
your
an-
long armpit hairs.
I use an old school razor where you put the blade in there and it's a double-sided blade, just one on either side, and you close that thing up and that's what I use. I've used that for.
That is way old school.
Seriously, I've used that almost my entire life, as a matter of fact. It works great. I love it.
You were like 12 when you first grew your beard.
I know.
Hairy.
I tried. Well, my entire shaving life. Let me put it that way. I tried once upon a
Since
time.
you were 12.
You know, when they had the two blade razors. You know, the disposable ones. I bought those for a while. Then it went to 3, and then it went to 4, and then I said, "Forget this. This is ridiculous. I am not spending $9 on a disposable razor that I can use twice, and then I got to toss it and spend another $9. This is madness." So that's four chances to cut myself instead of one.
You get 6 blades that you can throw away?
Yeah.
You guys are crazy, I swear.
Erica's living a little high on the hog.
You get that gigantic 6-bladed thing, and it looks like this, and then you're supposed to try and shave yourself with this 6-bladed thing. I mean, who can do this? Who's gonna? It's like one swipe and your whole face is done with that 6-blade or 8-blade thing. That's insane.
I do admit that's part of. Well, I don't. Like I said, I'm not hairy like you, so I don't have to shave more than once every week or so.
Well,
so this is
again. I'm going to go on record as saying I shave every day and sometimes twice a day because by 5 o'clock I'm getting that shadow already.
You're way too fuzzy, fam.
Yes, you don't want to look like a 1960s porn star.
This is Joe.
Yeah, you know what? There was I believe it's funny. There was a caller that had said, or a commenter that said that that's what I looked like on one of those old shows that we were running flashback segments on, with some kind of a porn star. That we had run on the show previous. We had run another segment, and people were calling up and talking about me looking like a Backstreet Boy. But one person calls up and says I look like a porn star. That's the only time I've ever heard that. I used to get Backstreet Boy all the time. Never got porn star.
And then Chevelle looked like Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, on last week's show?
With a scarf on his head.
Yeah, that was epic. Oh,
I believe Chevelle came in that night and said, "Hey, Joe, where are you going with that mic in your hand?" All right. I'll do it.
Nobody gets that reference. Yeah. Nobody gets that reference.
Really? Nobody gets that reference?
I remember doing this show a long time ago and coming in and actually saying the correct line, and people were like,
Yeah, that's probably true. Nobody would get that reference. Anastasia, did you get that reference?
That song, Jimmy Walker? What?
Dynamite! What? You didn't get that reference either?
No.
You said that Chevelle looked like Hendrix, and you didn't get the "Hey Joe, where you going?" Oh wow.
No, okay. I didn't get that. My apologies. I didn't get it.
That was a Hendrix song. It was a reference to the Vietnam War. It was "Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand?"
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I might have just dated myself there just a little bit.
Well, I don't know if I really listen to his music. I just know his face.
Oh. Okay.
You should have quoted a Backstreet Boy lyric. Should have been right on.
But I don't.
I would have known that.
See, that's the problem. I don't know any Backstreet Boy songs. I do know Hendrix. I don't.
I do. I secretly love them.
Huh.
Yeah,
okay.
Now it's not a secret
Hey Joe,
anymore.
I want it that way.
Oh.
Yes,
oh, that's a Backstreet Boy song? Really? Oh.
Yes. Oh. I told you I secretly love them. No. I won't never admit it to anybody, but yes.
You do realize that the show lives on the internet in perpetuity, right?
Yeah, but nobody watches you guys anyway.
Bye.
Ouch.
I'm kidding. Yes, bye. Yes. I'm kidding. All right, you guys. I love you guys, and you guys are cracking me up.
Well, thank you for the call.
Keep it up.
All right. You have a good night.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
Anastasia, quit playing with my heart.
Oh, geez, Todd. How many of these songs do you know?
I'm inconsolable. I just pulled up a list.
Oh, I was going to say, if I didn't know better, I was going to think you were a closet Backstreet Boy fan or something.
I knew you then, Joe.
Oh, my goodness. It just keeps going. All right. You know what? Speaking of keeping going.
I'm the only one having a hard time getting past closet and Backstreet Boy.
If you stay after the break.
I didn't see that, but actually that was a good one. Yeah, we gotta go ahead and take another break as Todd quotes more Backstreet Boy songs, I guess. And we will be back right after this.
It's all I have to give, Joe.
Oh, Vanessa. You're gonna
Nope. I'm high. I'm gonna hit the treadmill.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
We need to go meet the guys. I'm lit. Can you drive?
Nope. I'm high. How about they come over?
Where?
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
You are not your diagnosis.
A medical chart is not your identity.
Vision loss does not define you. Your drive shows who you are.
And you are not alone.
Because we are driven too.
To be a beacon of strength, a champion of courage.
an advocate for hope.
You are not alone.
Because we are stronger together.
We drive the research for the cures we're finding.
We're fighting macular degeneration,
LCA,
Retinitis pigmentosa,
and the entire spectrum of blinding retinal diseases.
We fund.
We fight.
We
win.
We
are
the foundation.
Together,
We are fighting blindness.
join the fight at fightingblindness.org.
The lost cause. The ignored.
The impossible.
Meet your match. A Go to World Girl Scout identifies a big problem, creates a project, and takes the steps to solve that problem.
We stand out because we stand for more. Gold Award Girl Scouts don't just change the world for the better. We change for good.
All right, we are back here with another quick reminder about Malibu Film Foundation's films, festivals, charity events, and special programs continuing to evolve in support of the arts in your community. You can help. Learn more by going to MalibuFilmFestival.com. That's MalibuFilmFestival.com. All right, I am Joe Carbonetta. This is Around Midnight Somewhere, and we're in the last about I guess it's 8 minutes or so of the show tonight. I don't know where the time went. But, of course, you can still call in if you want to join us. It's 951-356-6882 and get in your last words. I am, of course, joined by Todd Fluker and Chevelle Devine tonight. Hey, guys, are we having fun yet?
Every time I see that PSA about getting high, I have more notes.
Okay. All right, lay them on us.
What? The guy walks into a room and is like, hey, I'm lit to hell. Can you drive me somewhere? And before the guy even has a second to respond, he chucks the keys at his face. Who does that?
People who are high, evidently.
Yeah, apparently.
I never thought of that.
He's like, hey, I'm lit. Here, that's like me walking into a room when, Joe, you've just had like a, 3 martini dinner. And I'm just like, hey, Joe, I want to go get a donut? And me chucking a pair of keys at you.
That sounds like something Chevelle would do, though. It's like, hey, Joe, why don't you drive? Ow, man, were you smoking? Nope, just felt like throwing the keys at you.
That is something I would do.
Yeah. I really don't like you. Just thought I'd throw the keys at you.
Think fast.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's no way you have any time to respond.
That's cool.
So, Todd, we got like about 5 minutes left in this show. What other little anecdotal topic do you have tonight? I'm just curious.
Oh, man.
But
you guys see the hilarious
besides this again. You mean this? This hilarious thing right here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good, too. But the hilarious amount of fine that the NFL is levying at the Raiders. Apparently, their players are just refusing to follow the new COVID-19 restrictions.
Uh-huh.
They were trying to, kind of like the, MLB was doing pretty good about that kind of stuff. They had their bubble, and apparently the NFL has a similar thing, where you have a bubble of people that are allowed to come see players. And these guys, they're talking about how they've hit them with a $500,000 fine, Coach John Gruden, and a $150,000 fine, and removed their 6th-round draft pick for protocol violations from one of their players testing positive. And it's was talking about them all going out to some party and partying it up and having unauthorized personnel in their locker room and things like that. They're hit with $50,000 fines, $250,000 fines. I mean, I guess that's a drop in a bucket for pro NFL player, but seriously,
I was going to say, does that really even hurt them? Do they really even care? I mean, it almost sounds like it doesn't matter.
I guess that's why they took their draft pick away, because that's going to be something that they care about.
Well, see, here's the problem with that whole story. When it comes to the football situation in general, I'm not really sure I care that much. Because, like you pointed out, they're making so much money, these fines don't even matter to them.
Yeah, it's like a drop in the bucket. They're like, whatever.
Chevelle, how come you got all quiet over there?
Oh,
he's getting all somber again. What are the numbers looking like, Todd? Do you have more numbers?
It just makes perfect sense.
What makes perfect sense?
I guess we're going to talk about numbers with Todd now.
What?
Just before we get out of here, let's see. USA Today still has it the same number, 264 to 214. And then NBC is kind of flipping through a number of slides. Governor at this hour, GOP 8, Democrat 3. I don't know what these slides mean. I don't know what any of this bullshit means. Or I think this junk.
Man, Todd, you know you can't say that on the air, right?
We got the TVMA. Yeah, Biden still sitting at 253 to Trump 214. I mean, still hanging out.
All right, let's get a close up of CJ there with the tears beginning to well up in his eyes. Looking wistful with that dresser behind him there.
Candidates, and I've been saying that for a long time.
Got that box of tissue on standby.
I guess last headline of the day, breaking news.
Oh, breaking news. Okay, all right, here we go.
Peloton sales triple as a pandemic surge continues.
Huh.
Now, have you guys...
I do not understand that machine.
...seen a Peloton? Do you know anyone that has a Peloton?
That's like a $3,000 stationary bike, right? You know you could buy...
Yeah, it's like an insane... It's not only an insanely expensive bike, but also there's like monthly fees you need to pay.
Yeah.
Memberships.
You could buy a real bike and go see real scenery, and even buy a bike rack and probably
you have to wear a mask.
Used car. So you can still ride a bike.
You're gonna get fined.
The mask isn't stopping you from riding the bike.
I'm not riding a bike with no freaking mask.
And actually, I don't think you do technically. I think in California, if you're exercising, you don't have to.
Yeah, but you forget he's in the California clone blue state, Colorado.
But I mean, really, it's not going to affect you if you do wear a mask. So yeah, just wear the effing mask.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying that you're saying that Biden is actually still in the lead in the electoral votes count?
Oh yeah, it's hanging tough.
Trump was stumping out to make an announcement right now, and here he's getting ready to go, and yeah, Biden's in the lead. Oh, sorry about that, there, Trump.
He's going back to the bathroom and sad tweeting.
Yeah,
it's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
None of this is happening. If they had stopped counting the votes like they should have,
yeah, I'd be winning.
Win.
I'd be winning right now if. And
what
then there's McConnell. Yes, sir. Whatever the president said. That's right. We'll stop the count. We'll stop the counting right now, sir. Yeah, that's right.
Everybody agrees with me. Everybody knows that I'm the best. I have all the best words. I get all the best votes.
Well, all right. This has been another exciting episode.
The Democrats vote so good they count them twice.
Oh. Okay. On that one, this has been another exciting episode Around Midnight Somewhere. I am Joe Carbonetta on behalf of Todd Fluker and Chevelle Devine. Want to wish you a great night. Stay safe. And please, let's be calm. No matter who prevails, let's be calm about this, all right? You guys have a great night. We will see you next Thursday night.